Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, John.
Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
And we're here this morning on Waking Up Blessed. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and being a part of the show and being a part of Waking Up Blessed. And this morning we have Paul Wilson. And Paul's going to be speaking about World Sober Music Day. World Sober Music Day is going to be September 15th. It's being held in Pompano Beach, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Nashville, Tennessee. You can contact Paul, of course, at World Sober Music Day on Facebook. You can also check out his information that he's going to give us on the show here and momentarily. You can thank today's show from SoberMap. SoberMap sponsored today's show. You can go to SoberMap.com. They are a download that you can put on your Android or iPhone, and check out the local meetings in your area. It'll actually pull them up just like Yelp does. So, Waking Up Blessed is about starting our day with inspirational stories of experience, strength, and hope. And Paul definitely is one of those folks that carries a message of hope, and he does it through music. He does it through a lot of different ways, and we're going to bring Paul on here in a minute and talk about that. But today, what I would like to do is direct people to the Rockers in Recovery Facebook page, and if you could, right at the top, there's a sign-up button. If you can click on that and sign up for the newsletter. Our newsletter is going out. We're really trying to make it about a whole and everything from in the news and recovery to upcoming guests to past guests to upcoming concerts and festivals that Rockers in Recovery endorses. And all of the different information there is to be able to help people that may need help, but most importantly, to have some fun. See, this is about having, the ability to be in recovery and have a nightlife and go out with other people to sober events or to events as a whole. I mean, there's a lot of great things that go on, and Rockers in Recovery Media is there to be able to let people know what those activities are. We're not an advocacy group or, we're not a treatment center. What we're here is, as media, is to be able to carry a message of addiction awareness and addiction prevention, and also let people know that there's fun in recovery, and you can find it right at Rockers in Recovery and Waking Up Blessed newsletter. So go to Rockers in Recovery on Facebook, click on the Sign Up tab, and we welcome you to Rockers in Recovery and Waking Up Blessed. And with that, we're going to bring Paul on. Paul, welcome to the show. Thanks for being a part of Waking Up Blessed this morning.
Good morning, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you fine. If you're on speakerphone, please take us off.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
That better?
So how's Paul doing this morning?
Paul is doing quite well this morning. I'm one of those fortunate people. Most days, not every day, but most days I wake up pretty happy. I'm just extremely grateful, pretty much every day for all the things that's been given to me since I managed to get clean and sober, several years ago. So I'm pretty good today.
It's a beautiful thing. Hey, listen, you as a person in long-term recovery, what is your day like when you start out? I mean, what do you do? Is there like a format to your day, or do you, read some literature? How do you start your day?
Okay, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I kind of just lay there for a minute. I really do. I just lay there for a minute, and the very first thing that comes out of my mouth, and not out loud, but in my head, I say, "Good morning, God." And I've been doing that, I'm saying 99% of the time for the last 17 years, And I heard from somebody in real early recovery that said that he said every morning when he woke up, he said, "Good morning, God." He said before that, he got sober, he woke up every day and he said, "Good God, it's morning." And I so related to that because I was homeless for a long time. My life was devastated for a long time, and I seriously dreaded every single day. I hated being on the planet. I hated being here. I hated being me. And, you know, I wake up every morning and I say, good morning, God, because it's only by the grace of God that I'm here. You know, and I look around my room without even getting out of bed, and I lay there and I kind of reflect on what I need to do for the day. And and the most important thing I can do every day is to try to reach my hand down to somebody, even if it's just to put a smile on their face for a minute if somebody's down, you know. And that's not necessarily just people in recovery. You know, there's a little old lady that hangs out, and she's old, man, and she's crippled and she's homeless. And, you know, and I've talked to her a couple of times down by where I work, and I've talked to her a couple of times, and I told her this program she can get into and stuff, and she's just perfectly satisfied, I guess, with where she is, you know. And I remember being that person and not being satisfied, but thinking that was my station in life and there was no hope. And I don't know if somebody had to come up to me and said something to me like I do to them, if it would have made a difference or not, you know, but nobody did, so I don't know. But, you know, and so, I mean, I'm like freaking out blessed every single day. I really and truly am, you know, and sometimes during the day, you know, I'm not liable to get pissed off and throw a tantrum inside my head, or maybe sometimes even out loud, and the people that work for me know that. And, but, you know, it passes, and I apologize, and I go back to to the space that I truly want to be in, you know, and you know, I surround myself with those kind of people. I want to be positive in my life, so I try to surround myself with positive things and have positive thoughts, and that's what works for me, you know. And then I thank God, and I talk to Him for a minute, and I do a little reflection, and it's just, you know, it's His deal, you know. I heard another lot. I remember a lot of things from early recovery. I remember, you know, like people saying, you know, like God will provide, God will take care of me. And then my sponsor said, yeah, God will provide and God will take care of you. God can move a mountain, but you better bring the shovel. You know, you got to do the work. You can't just sit on your butt and think everything's going to come to you. You know, recovery is absolutely friggin' wonderful. It's the greatest way of life, you know, but anything that's worthwhile having is worth working for. You know, and it's not free. I don't care what they say. Recovery is not free. You have to put in the work. You have to love. You have to be kind. You have to reach your hand out. You have to go to meetings. You know, if you want, I mean, to me, and you don't have to. Nobody has to. I have to. I have to every day. I don't do a meeting every day, but I try to talk to a recovered alcoholic every day, usually John Hollis. You know, my sponsor and other people that I know, and I work with people that are in recovery too, and everybody, you know, knows pretty much I'm an open book. So yeah, and every day is pretty much like the day before, and thank God that it is. You know, and maybe I can be just a little bit better today than I was yesterday. So.
Tell us
about
that's great
you
stuff,
asked.
man. That's really good stuff, and and you know something, you know, it is about a day at a time. And you know, if we keep doing the same things that we did yesterday that worked, then you know it'll work today. You know what I mean? So I love the concept, and most importantly, I love the action behind it. And the action comes in so many different ways between you and your beautiful wife, Pat. And the next thing on the horizon for you is World Sober Music Day. And tell us about World Sober Music Day and what it's about. September 15th, and it's being held in Pompano Beach, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Nashville, Tennessee. Tell us about what's going on.
Yeah, this is another thing, man. You know, God's got His hand in it because it's all gone so smooth. You know, I couldn't do this on my own. You know, if somebody drew me a map. All right, with the help of guys like you, a lot of help by you, because you're the one that really hooked me up. You know, in 2012, I'd been sober for a few years, and I was looking for something more to do. Okay, and I saw an ad for Rockers in Recovery. And my wife knew you. I didn't know you. My wife knew you, and I said something to her about it. She goes, "Yeah, I know John. He's a pretty good guy." And then she told me a funny story, which we won't talk about on the air. And my wife is absolutely wonderful. You're right. She said that's another thing I wake up to every day too. That's truly blessing that I found a woman that will put up with my sorry ass every day, and she does, and I love her dearly. She's a big part of all this. But anyway, I saw this ad, so you were getting ready to put on a festival. It was 2012, and I had recently put a band together, and I was looking for a spot to do some more in recovery, and I called you and asked you if I could play at the festival. And you met me at the 101 Club, and you said I could, and I did, and you and I hit it off, and and little by slowly, one thing led to another, and we became friends. And we've done festivals together. I've been part of Rockers in Recovery. It's been a blessing to be part of Rockers in Recovery because it gave me a spot that I was looking for, someplace in recovery where I could do a little bit more than go to meetings, be a sponsor, and all that's important, all that's wonderful. But I believe that there's a spot for everybody in recovery to do a little bit more, and where they can find happiness, find a little bit of joy, and a little bit of peace. And I found that through the music. I'd always been a musician. I'd put it down for many, many years. They told me I wasn't allowed to have a guitar when I was homeless, because if I did, I would just hawk it for more stuff, So I wasn't allowed to have one. But anyway, and one thing led to another, and you helped me get Sobriety Unplugged started. And then I had this idea that I wanted to do a little more, and I was working with a couple of charities. I do a 9/11 benefit concert, which I have coming up September 1st, and that's for an organization called Tuesday's Children. They benefit, first we still benefit the children of first responders and of people that were affected by the World Trade Center disaster, and do more around the world. And I also still do some work for Hope, South Florida, which feeds the homeless. I go once a month and play music for the homeless while they eat at a church through Hope, South Florida. But I still wanted, and Showering Love. I helped them build their bus, donated stuff, and you gave them a spot at one of the festivals for a nonprofit that you always support at one of your festivals. And anyway, so I wanted to do my own, and I came up with this idea of World Sober Music Day. And what the concept was on the third Saturday of September, which is this year September 15th, and this is the first year. Everybody in recovery, pick up your instrument, play a gig. I don't care if it's in the corner of a basement. I don't care if it's the corner of the street. Invite friends to come. Invite friends that are still active, and ask them just to put the drugs and the drink down for one day. Come play music, listen to music, because all of our journeys begin with a day. You never know, there might be one person in the world that will start their journey for them. Recovery through music is an absolutely amazing thing. And that was my concept. And then I said, what am I going to do if any money comes in? It's a charity, right? And so everybody that's in recovery knows, or if they don't, they got their head under a rock. We have an extremely major opioid problem in this country, and it's an epidemic, and people are dying all over the place. And statistically, there are more grandparents raising grandchildren in this country now than ever before in the history of our country. And so I'm using any money that is collected to go toward family members that are raising the children of deceased or non-present addicts and alcoholics. That's what the money is earmarked for. And I was very fortunate. I advertised for people in other areas around the country to put concerts on, big or small. I didn't care how big it was or how small it was. And a young man named Jason Ray Welch that I had no idea, never saw it before, heard of, seen him on Facebook or nothing, contacted me. In fact, I'm looking at his picture on the screen right now. Contacted me and said he'd like to do one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And my good friend Stiefer, who lives up in Nashville trying to make it as a songwriter, contacted me and she said, Paul, I'd love to do one here in Nashville. And so last month, my wife and I got in our little car and we went on a vacation. And during that vacation, we went to Myrtle Beach and met with Jason, got that set up. He's having it at a really cool place called the Fresh Brew Coffee House. It's a community coffee house. They have AA meetings and NA meetings and other events for the recovery community and for the churches and other things. It's like a community coffee house in Myrtle Beach, cool place. And then we went on up and met with Steve in Nashville and through you actually, John, and just the way things go and the way God works. I asked her about her knowing somebody that was affiliated with the Storytellers Museum, which is a Cash Family Museum, and she did. She contacted him, and she's having her event at the Storytellers Museum outside Nashville in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. So 3 events the first year, nice venues, and I'm doing the one down here in South Florida. I'm just so excited that it's all going so well the first year, and I don't see it going anywhere but up, So maybe we can help some kids and help some grandparents. That's what the whole deal is, and maybe we can save the life, because the number one thing is get the parents of these children off the drugs, save their life, get them into some form of recovery. I don't care what kind of recovery, if it's constantly stand on your head and shit nickels, man. Just whatever it takes to get sober and get clean, and if we can do that one time, then all the effort's worthwhile. And you've been doing this for a long, long time, and that's what the sole purpose of Rockers in Recovery basically is to help save a life, and so it's cool. It's all began, all this stuff is cool as it is, and I got to put a plug in it for Rockers in Recovery, because, you had your struggles, you never let nobody get you down. You got through it. You got over it. You're doing wonderful, wonderful stuff, and you're going through your own struggles right now with your wife and her sickness, and you keep your head up, and you keep reaching your hand out, and you keep doing these shows and doing this every day, and so I'm honored. I'm truly honored to be your friend and to be part of Rockers in Recovery and everything that has become because of Rockers in Recovery. So thanks, John.
Well, I appreciate that, Paul, and thank you. I mean, hey, listen, there's a lot of we've been all over the country together with Rockers in Recovery, and our famous road trips. And me and Paul had to go to Pennsylvania.
They've been really cool, John. You got to admit.
So,
we had some
something,
time,
man. In the end, here we are today, one day at a time, and we've been able to help people through the music, but most importantly, if you're a rocker out there and you're in recovery, see, I'm a rocker, I'm in recovery, and I get to be a part of Rockers in Recovery, and Rockers in Recovery is just that. It doesn't matter if you're a musician or you're somebody that's out there that just likes rock and roll. You're a rocker in recovery, man.
There you go.
I've always said, Paul, that if it was going to be just musicians, it would be Musicians in Recovery. We didn't name it that. We named it Rockers in Recovery.
Yeah. Right. Look, every one of those people that show up at one of those shows is a Rockers in Recovery, man. We've had some big crowds. We've had some little crowds. We've had some big crowds, and like you say, man, if you're sober and you're banging your head to the music, you're a Rocker in Recovery. Yeah.
So one of the things that I want our audience to know is where they can find you. So can you give the website and any other information that you would like to give?
Yeah, the website is worldsobermusicday.org. Excuse me. I have the Facebook page, and on the Facebook page are all the events and all the information where all 3 events are, and the addresses and stuff. And me personally, I have no problem. My phone number is 954-336-8631. You can email me at worldsobermusicday@gmail.com or through worldsobermusicday.org right through the website. But the Gmail is probably easier. It's worldsobermusicday@gmail.com, and my phone number, 954-336-8631. I'll answer my phone. If I don't answer my phone, leave me a message or send me a text. And at my earliest convenience, I'll get right back to you, because I still work. And I work 2 jobs besides, going to meetings and trying to reach a hand down and playing some music and set things up. And, I got to spend a minute or 2 with the wife once in a while. And so I stay pretty busy, but I always find time to get back to whoever contacts me. So if you contact me, I will get back to you. So. Yeah, and I have no problem people calling me on my phone. That's why I got a telephone. Okay.
All right. Well, listen, man. I want to thank you so much for being on with us, and we're going to bring you back on as we get closer and talk about any updates. And listen, if you're out there, there's still an opportunity if you want to put together an event for World Sober Music Day in your area, just like he already has, the 3 that are going on now in Myrtle Beach, Nashville, and Pompano Beach, Florida. You can also put one on in your area. So you have all his contact information. Paul's a great guy, and he's really, out there to help others, and that's the best thing about Paul Wilson and Pat Wilson. So listen, Paul, thank you for being on the show, and we look forward to having you back.
There's one more thing I want to say. Anybody that does interested in putting an event on, I just want everybody to know that whatever money comes from the area, like whatever money is collected in Nashville that goes into the charity, whatever money that comes out of Myrtle Beach that goes into the charity, that money will go back to a family in that area. Okay, so if you're thinking about putting one on and think that the money is just going to go someplace else, it will come back to your area. You have my word as a person in recovery, and just as a try to be honest as I can human being. Okay, so. All right, John. So thanks for having me, buddy. All right,
bet, brother.
I'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk soon.
Okay.
You bet.
All right, man. Okay, I love you, man. Bye-bye.
Love you too. All right, guys, there you go. We have Paul Wilson, of course, World Sober Music Day, September 15th, being held in Pompano Beach, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, and maybe in your area if you decide to have one. I want to thank again our sponsor for today, SoberMap. SoberMap app. Go to SoberMap.com, download the app, and check them out. Good people doing good things. And also, please go to rockersandrecovery.com and check out all the information there. The navigation buttons up top. You can join the newsletter. You can listen to the radio shows. You can listen to the past shows. You can do a lot of different stuff there. And also join us on Facebook at Rockers and Recovery. We look forward to tomorrow's show, Monday through Friday, Waking Up Blessed, right here on Rockers and Recovery Radio Network. We thank you. And this is for Paul and all the folks out there that work diligently every day to help create change. And Eric Clapton, change the world.
Only
Rockers in Recovery Radio is based on opinion only and is not meant to treat or diagnose any health or mental health issue of any kind. If you feel you need help for any health-related issues, please contact a physician or mental health professional. The opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily those of Rockers in Recovery.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.